Very good evening to all the viewers. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Evening Review. My name is Tebonjo Bella, your host. Tonight on the show, we are joined by Swapo Party Youth League Secretary Ephraim Nekongo to talk about particularly the Youth League's approach to this year's Swapo Congress and related subjects. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm great to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
It has been a while.
Yes.
And let me also greet your viewers.
Yes.
Here we are.
Wonderful. So, I think 2 weeks ago there were headlines in the newspapers. You were very, I think you were very honest to say that you are supporting Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah in the bid for vice president, but that did not represent the views of the Youth League as a collective. There were talks that there could be a meeting within the Youth League to sort of discuss whether they would embark on a single candidate or individually. If you can update us on that.
Well, thank you, Toivo. Look, here we are again, 2022. It's that time of the year, in Swapo Party where we go to Congress.
Yeah.
And this is a process that have started, from the beginning of the year. It's called the renewal of mandate. It started from section, branch, district, region, wings, Our Congress has been, I always said, maybe it's a Congress that was held over the social media. Apparently it was chaotic, which was not. But then the other wings has also had their congresses. Eventually now, we are moving toward now the Congress of the Mother Body, which is the Swapo Party. And the clock is ticking. We are ticking off. The nomination has been completed. Remember the other time when some people asked me, I said, we can't talk about campaigning when we do not have candidates. Now,
you answered me actually.
Yeah, I remember. I thought, now it's good. Now you can ask me that question because now we have candidates.
Yeah.
So the question that I was asking on Dobe in the belated commemorations of the Heroes' Day, I said, yes, as an individual, I'm supporting Netumbo. You asked me that question before and I said you preempt. Yes, I support Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah as a candidate. Reason being, to my personality, is that we have been singing about the legacy to continue. The question that I ask myself, why not Netumbo? Why not Netumbo now, if we have done it in the past? To say the legacy must continue. Are we saying now the legacy must not continue, or what are we saying? And yes, other people are saying now we debunk the guided democracy. Well, maybe that is their view, but personally, I feel the legacy continue, and that's why I said what I have done, what we have done before. We have supported Dr. Hage Geingob as he was vice president, and we pushed him until he eventually became the president of the party and eventually became the president of the country. So I'm in the same footstep. I can't change anyway. I'm not a person who go with whirlwind. If the wind comes this day, today I go this side, tomorrow I go. No, I don't work like that. I have my principle. That is now my personality. However, one should also remember that I'm the secretary of Swapo Youth League, and if you look at it in principle, I'm the spokesperson of Swapo Youth League, as per the Constitution. I said, and I avoided many things because, in the Youth League we have people, and we have people with different views. So we want to welcome other people's views. So that's why I said, well, maybe it was too early for you to ask me a question of Swapo Youth League, because Swapo Youth League still have their meeting, which I will chair, and then eventually we see if we will come up and say, no, look, we are supporting this candidate A, or we are not. We are supporting candidate B. So, in principle, that's it. I'm 100% supporting Netumbo because of quality leadership that I see in her. I see wisdom in her. And I see the notion of people talking, she's too old and whatever. The good thing that I will say is God, we must say, thanks God that she's still healthy despite the age. And age also comes with wisdom. And she's not here to come and compete with young people. She's here to come and groom young people and also tap from the young people. I would want to say, if she come on the throne, whether at the party, we must make sure that we bring in young people so that they are groomed. So, and remember, before I also talk about the coexistence that we need to have in the party, we must not just talk about young people must come in, but we push out the elders. So we must have the coexistence. Where there is elder, there is women, there is young person, so that we can able then together go and move this party together. That's my
yeah,
my
wonderful.
take.
So when you say that if the Youth League was to sit, the National Executive to sit and the majority on the day happens to say, okay, as a collective we are supporting this candidate, but that candidate is not Netumbo, how will Ephraim deal with that?
Well, Ephraim is not Swapo Youth League. Ephraim is an individual.
Yeah.
Just like when we go to Congress, we are going to vote as individual.
Yeah.
So Nekongo is going to vote Netumbo, despite that the Youth League have taken their decision.
Yeah.
And we allow that in this democratic process to say, look, it's election coming. So if when I'm going in my booth, I'm not going there with Swapo Youth League. I'm going there as a member of Swapo Youth League and a member of Swapo, and given the power and the mandate by the young people. However, one thing that you must also look at is also to say we have young people across the whole country, be it, they are also delegates coming. So that's also one thing that you must look at me as a commander of the Youth League. And if I command, I command. I don't know whether now if the commander is going to be defeated by by the soldier, well, maybe that's something that we must look at. But well, in the meantime, I must say I'm a Swapo Youth League secretary. I command, and I think I have that mandate to command. If I have given the wisdom to do that and tell people what is right.
Yeah. Why is it important? Is it not controversial to really? I'm not talking about now the Youth League in particular, but all the wings, because we've had situations before where they say, oh, the Youth League are behind Jerry Akanjo. The Women's Council Women's Council is behind candidate A and what. Why can't we just allow people to have their individual choices? Why collective sort of coerced into a collective decision?
Maybe you are now speaking the language I'm speaking. That's why I said it's Nekongo. But if Nekongo command and the rest follow, well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing that prevents us. There's nothing that we are breaking or that is not constitutional or whatever the case might be. We have done it before. It has been done all those years. But yes, maybe because now we are changing things here and there, maybe we allow that, but it's also biased a little bit because you see people want to tell me, especially those that I'm seeing, apparently they are candidates to CC, and they think, no, I'm not supporting this one. I'm telling you, you'll lose out because people will also want to vote you. Are they also going to be told, no, I must be neutral? Unfortunately, if they are candidates, you need to choose. There's no two way about it. You need to choose and say, this is the person I'm going to support. Whether you like it or not. Because when you go there, you need to support that person. Why do you have to hide it? I don't see it.
The phrase, the legacy must continue. Why do I feel like it's being deliberately misinterpreted? Because what we understood all along, that the legacy must continue in Swapo, was to say that this is the party that took over the country in 1990, and it has embarked on certain things, might be developmental projects or whatever, the development of democracy in the country and whatnot, and that legacy must continue. It was not in reference to vice presidents.
You can, everybody can have your own interpretations, and maybe we have our own interpretation. And I want you to look at it from the perspective of where we are coming from. always, and that's the reason why we have a clauses in the Constitution, say, well, whoever becomes the vice president automatically become. Why did we do that?
Yeah.
Is that not the legacy that we are talking about? So, in my own interpretation, and maybe others that can concur with me, that's how we took it.
Yeah.
We have taken note of all the vice president have a majority image. Why now? Why not Netumbo? What is the difficulty? Is it that we don't want women to lead, or what is the problem?
Yeah. It's a good question, Ephraim, that you're asking, why not Netumbo? And it is a question that the person who ought to answer that question really is President Hage Geingob, who is himself a product of the legacy that you're talking about. He's a product of the system that supported the vice president. And for some reason this year, he did not do the same for his vice president, whom in 2017, he actually put on his slate. So what are your thoughts on that? Does he put you actually in a difficult position? Because he appointed you to parliament, and now you are supporting a candidate that he doesn't seem to support.
Well, I do not want to speak much on that. I think we must respect the president's position. Perhaps that's wisdom. But me as an individual, I decided to support Netumbo because I have the right. And it doesn't really say whether I have been appointed in parliament, maybe I must then go this direction or so. I don't feel it that way, because as much as I'm a member, I have my democratic right to do what is right. And that is what I did right is when I supported Dr. Hage from onset, because I did it on principle. I did not do that because I was forced to do that. And likewise here, I'm not doing it because I'm forced to do it. I'm doing it because of my principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the fact that because there are even people who called for some sort of just wheelbarrowing the incumbent VP into the position of candidacy without having to be challenged to that position by others. What do you think of the fact that there are others also vying for the same position?
No, that I respect. It's our democracy that we have established, a democratic process that we have established. And at any point, we never felt or have any view of that the vice president must not do being challenged. I think that is straightforward. And she has been there. She's contesting. She's campaigning. Some of us who are the front runners are campaigning for her to win. And in any democratic process, if there are two candidates, you need to campaign. And that we do not really push that she must go uncontested. And that's why if we wanted to do it, maybe we could have already done it at the Central Committee when the decision was taken that the president must not be challenged. So we did this because of the principles, and as I said, so that we also unite the party. That's the idea. Unite the party, but we must have election process to take place so that at the end of the day we choose the suitable candidate to run the party. And here I want also to say, I see people mixing things, and they are perhaps looking at only the president of the country. Here we are not talking about the president of the country only. We are talking about the president of the party, the person to take care of the party before she or he is then elevated to the country. These are two things that we need to look at. And these are the things that we look at and say, looking at her capability, looking at her track record, in my view, and others that are concurring with me, she have all what it takes in terms of capability. She have provided leadership throughout. Indeed.
We go for a quick break and return for second half.
The My.NA Cars Show provides viewers with the best in-class cars content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest cars-related news, products, and services. If you would like to feature your brand or campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Cars, more than just a ride.
Chill Sessions is an entertainment show bringing the latest hits, fashion, and entertainment news. Chill aims at reaching all entertainers, youth, and artistic fans. Catch Chill on NTV, 1up2.com, the Namibian Sun, Chill, and Namibia Media Holdings platform. Chill focuses on countdown of the latest hits, fashion trends, celebrity interviews, and more. To share your music-related news, products, and services, contact Chill at synergy.com.na. Chill Sessions, bringing art and entertainment to the people.
Bookings for Namibia Tourism Expo 2022 are open. The expo will take place from 3 to 5 November 2022 in Windhoek. To secure your booking, visit nte.nmh.com.na. And for more information on the expo, follow all Namibia Media Holdings platforms. The expo is supported by the Ministry of Environment, Tourism and Forestry, Namibia Tourism Board, FENATA, City of Windhoek, and Namibia Media Holdings. Namibia Tourism Expo, taking tourism to the regions.
We continue our conversation with Ephraim Nekongo. Give me a sense of these qualities, this wisdom that you spoke about in reference to Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. What are the qualities that you see in her?
As I said, in my view, and what I have observed is that she have the quality that we are looking at for the presidency. You look at her time when she has, when she crossed the country to exile. She was a leader of the Youth League, and I think that's a component that some people maybe are missing. And then you look at what she have done when she was in exile, and then you look back when she come back at all the ministry that she have served, you see result. Because what we are doing, what we must look forward here is result at the end of the day you can see. And I will not go into details. I think if you are following the hair campaign, those that are campaigning and also putting all these facts, they are there from all various ministries where she have served. And then you also now look at currently what she's doing and what she have done. I think she has the track record that one can rely on. I do not want to focus on ill campaign that I see. You see people talking, she was in RDP. And I would challenge those that are saying she was in RDP. They must bring her forth. Let them bring her membership card. And it's very, I don't know how do I call it, to say ill word like that when you are talking to. One thing that we must remember is that we are speaking about the vice president here of our party currently. We are not just talking about a candidate. So they are saying now that we have been led by somebody who has been in RDP and he was vetted through the process. Are we saying that the party processes and the vetting process are weak, that they have did not detected that? I think I want to encourage our members to campaign peacefully without tarnishing other people's name or candidates or whatever. I see it not only in Netumbo, but I'm seeing it in many other people, in many things. And I see even here yesterday or whatever, there was a person who is accusing the candidates. And I'm afraid it wasn't really a good thing, because she's more focusing on and she was one of them who was talking about RDP. Let him, Sione Keller, come forth and prove that Netumbo has been an RDP. Let him bring the membership card and also prove to the party members that yes, we have been led by an RDP person, because as far as I know in a party, if you defected, you are given a number of years before you come back.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen that. So let's not go into this politics of decampaigning each other, using other things. I'm hearing it, and that's why our candidate has said, look, I do not want to talk about fish rot, and I see people want to distort it.
Yeah.
She's right. I do not want to answer issues of fish rot because I do not want to be seen decampaigning other people, which is right.
Yeah.
So,
but how do you decampaign anyone if you're just speaking about your role on not any role in that thing? How does that decampaign anyone?
Perhaps, you know how you people are. Media would want to, to twist things. What she have said is just merely that, look, corruption is corruption and we can't condone that.
Yeah.
But we do not want to talk about it because if I speak about it, then I must be seen that I'm decampaigning somebody. And that's, we need to respect her view, which is right, because many things what I have even seen here when you had the conversation last night, it was just surrounding this petty issue, fish rot issue, this one is tainted, this one is not apparently, whatever the case might be. I don't feel if that is a campaign that we need to run. We want as party members to look at the quality that person is bringing forth without bringing other things. If there are other things, unfortunately, that's beyond other people.
Yeah. You see, one question, and I put it to Sioni Kela last night on the show, and I'm putting a similar question to you. You see, for us in the media, because the media is running these profiles on these candidates, and there are, of course, corruption allegations that are being attached to certain candidates in this race, and your candidate is always branded as, having clean hands. And we have people, members of the public, calling the media overall to say, but why are you misleading the nation? Why is the fish rot thing of 2017 that allegedly funded those campaigns not being mentioned? You are misleading us as your readers. Now, it's easy for you to say, look, you don't want to decampaign each other within the party itself. But outside the party, as an ordinary citizen, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah probably has the highest chance of being my president in 2 years' time, 3 years' time. Why can I not be answered on the question of fish rot?
I see where you are coming in from. And even yesterday when I see your conversation, some people are alleging kind of like maybe the candidates are the ones that are campaigning other candidates.
Yeah.
What we see is the public perceptions and what public think. But that must not now be brought into the campaign, because there was no candidate that have framed anybody unless the candidate only talk about himself and say, look, I'm clean. Yeah. And if that is a crime that a person have committed to be clean, let it be a crime. But unfortunately, we have just to respect the opinion that I think, in my view, she feel if I talk about this thing and I talk about the debate about corruption and whatever has transpired, whatever the case might be, then I'll be, remember we have rules that are governing us during our processes. So maybe we need to respect her to say, look, we don't want her to be seen that is decampaigning others. I think it's on that. And she said, frankly, to say, come after Congress. Yeah. If you want to engage her, she's ready to be engaged after that, because by then she's not decampaigning other people. Yeah.
The last question then briefly, Ephraim, is you referred to the rules, the framework that the party came up with within which candidates must campaign. It's totally different from anything that we've seen before, and I think the principle itself is correct. Do you think that, because I also saw some people saying, the candidates are strangled a little bit, they can't really, because I say that this is not just about Swapo members electing their leaders. These are leaders who will eventually become leaders of the entire country. And it would have been nice for us to see them on the podium saying, this is what I'm going to do for my country through Swapo. But be that as it may, do you think it's a good strategy, and do you think that the party for the first time in a long time will come out of these campaigns united than before?
Yeah, when we set for introspection, I'm very happy that the party finally have understood what members said. During our introspection that took place, we have discussed these things at length, and the leadership felt that if we are to unite the party, let's not create teams so that we avoid having fractions in the party. So therefore, the idea to bring candidate at one place, like if you are going to the region, you must see candidate separately together so that you don't put this candidate at the corner and whatever, and the use of money and whatever, which I tell people, I said, in fact, I must just say it to members that those that will use money, if they come to you and they give you money, eat the money, but vote wisely. That I must tell them, that because we see this development already. Even if they slaughter cows and cattle and whatever, eat the meat, but go and vote wisely. Because we do not want to create that, and that's where we are coming from, and we have learned that this would destroy the party. Because we want at the end of the day, after the campaign is over, we as members must come back to each other and say, look, we need now to look forward. Election 2024 is ahead. Now, to answer your question briefly, I think we wanted to keep it an internal process so that we don't spill it. Remember, 2017 we had even rallies, and these are things that we are waiting. So at rallies we were required to go and cover, but this one we want to keep it internal because we are only talking to delegates that are going to Congress, so that delegate will understand. And remember, delegates are delegated from their structure, so that if the presentation is done like what is happening in Omaheke and Commerce, if then maybe, remember, you are delegated. When you are delegated, you are carrying somebody's mandate. It's not yourself. It's not just Nekongo who can stood and say, no, I'm going to do this. So you have the mandate of the people. Maybe if you are talked to by the candidate, you can go back and consult your principals and say, oh, but we have seen them. Who are we now? We must support and so forth. I think it's on that principle. But, well, come 2024, when the stage is leveled and we have our candidate, definitely that is when we will now come for rallies, and then you will be invited, and the candidate will then come and tell what we are going to do for the country and so forth. But for now, this is an internal process. We encourage all of you not to go to our rallies. I know you are sneaking in and there, but please don't go to our rally because it's an internal process, and we want only to speak to delegates so that then delegates go and vote. After the voting, then we will have a candidate, collective as a party. Then you will then be required to engage the candidate and see who you must able to talk to. Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure having you again.
Thank you.
Always great having you on the show. That was Ephraim Nekongo, who is leader of the Swapo Party Youth League. Thank you for watching.